My girlfriend texted from a girls' trip. We need to talk. I think we should see other people. I replied, clarity is good. Then I posted my new relationship status and a photo of me handing the keys to our apartment back to the landlord. Her friend started frantically texting me, asking why her belongings were on the curb.
Hi viewers, thanks for stopping by. If you've been watching the channel for a while and still haven't subscribed, now's a great time. Let's get into the story.
I'm writing this from a mostly empty apartment that smells like cleaning products. It's quiet, and for the first time in about 4 days, my stomach isn't a solid knot of dread. It feels more like relief, which is a strange thing to feel after your life gets turned upside down. My girlfriend, Maya, and I had been together for 3 years. We'd been living together for 2 of them in a great apartment that we both loved. Our lease was set to expire at the end of this month, and for weeks we had been talking about renewing it for another year. We had the appointment scheduled with the landlord to sign the new paperwork this coming Friday. That detail is important. Last Saturday, Maya left for a week-long girls' trip to Miami with her 2 best friends, Chloe and Jessica. I helped her pack, drove her to the airport, and kissed her goodbye. Everything was normal. We texted a bit the first couple of days. Standard stuff, pictures of the beach, complaints about the price of drinks. Then, on Tuesday night, my phone buzzed with a message that detonated everything. It was from Maya. The text read, "Hey, have had a lot of time to think out here. We need to talk when I get back. I think we should see other people." See other people. It's one of those phrases, isn't it? It's a coward's eject button. It's designed to be a conversation starter, but it's really a statement of intent. It's a way to put your partner on ice, keep them in reserve as a safety net while you test drive other options without guilt. For 3 years, I had been her partner. In the space of one text message, I was being demoted to an option. Something inside me didn't break, it just clicked into place. All the little moments of her being distant lately, the way she was glued to her phone, the vague work stress explanations, it all came into sharp focus. The hurt was there, deep and cold, but on the surface, I just felt this strange, surgical calm. She wanted clarity? Fine. I would give it to her. I stared at her message for a minute, then typed my reply. It was only 3 words. Clarity is good. I hit send. Then I put my phone on silent and went to work. The next morning, I called our landlord. I explained that our plans had changed and that we would not be renewing the lease. I confirmed that I would be vacating the property and returning the keys by our official move-out date, which was this Saturday, just 3 days away. He was surprised, but said as long as the apartment was clean and the keys were returned on time, it was no problem. Then, the packing began. I was methodical. I packed my books, my clothes, my computer equipment. All my stuff was boxed up by Wednesday evening. Then I started on Maya's things. Her entire life was intertwined with mine in that apartment. I packed every piece of clothing, every shoe from her ridiculously large collection, every makeup palette, every framed photo of us. I emptied her drawers and her side of the closet. I took down her art from the walls. I boxed it all up carefully, labeling each box with a black marker. Maya, clothes, Maya bathroom, Maya sentimental. I worked for 2 straight days, fueled by coffee and a grim sense of purpose. By Friday night, the apartment was divided into 2 distinct territories. My life, stacked and ready to move, and her life, neatly containerized. On Saturday morning, I had movers take my belongings to a new, smaller apartment I'd found in a frantic but successful search. Once my things were out, I began the process of moving her belongings. I hauled every single box, every bag, every piece of her furniture that wasn't built in, out of the apartment and placed it neatly on the patch of grass next to the curb. I covered the entire pile with 2 large, heavy-duty tarps I bought from a hardware store in case it rained. The apartment was now completely empty. I spent the next 4 hours cleaning it from top to bottom. I patched nail holes, scrubbed floors, and cleaned the oven until it shined. It looked better than when we moved in. At 5 o'clock, I met the landlord outside. He did a walkthrough, looked impressed, and I handed him the keys. My friend, who had come to help with the final clean, took a picture of me shaking the landlord's hand, a genuine smile on my face for the first time in days. I went back to my new, quiet apartment, opened my laptop, and went on social media. I changed my relationship status to single. Then I posted the photo. The caption was simple. Sometimes you need to close one door to open another. Handing back the keys to the old place and officially starting a new chapter. Clarity is a good thing. I didn't tag anyone. I didn't have to. Within an hour, the frantic texts began. The first was from Chloe, Maya's best friend. "Alex, what is going on? Jessica just saw a post from someone in your old building. Why are all of Maya's things on the curb?" I let the message sit there for a moment, the words glowing on my screen. I took a sip of water and started typing my reply. Update 1. The initial text from Chloe was just the first drop in what quickly became a flood. My phone started vibrating non-stop with messages from her, Jessica, and a few of their other friends who were on the Miami trip. They were all variations on the same theme: shock, confusion, and rapidly escalating outrage. Chloe: "Alex, answer me. People are taking pictures of her stuff. Are you insane?" Jessica: "What did you do? Maya is crying her eyes out here. We had to tell her. You need to fix this now." I decided to respond to Chloe, as she seemed the most capable of forming complete sentences. My reply was calm and factual. I wrote, "Hi Chloe. On Tuesday, Maya texted me that she wanted to see other people. I respected her decision. Our lease was expiring this weekend, so I vacated the property as required and left her belongings for her to arrange pickup." Her response came back instantly. She didn't mean break up right now. She wanted to talk when she got back. "You can't just throw her life onto the street," I replied. Her text was clear. I accepted it. The lease ended. There was nothing more to discuss. That's when my phone started ringing. It was Maya. I let it go to voicemail. A message popped up immediately, a frantic, tearful rant. She was sobbing, barely coherent, yelling about how I had misunderstood, how I was cruel, how I had betrayed her. Then another call, and another. I blocked her number. Of course, she immediately started calling from Chloe's phone. I answered, putting it on speaker. "Alex, how could you?" she screamed, her voice hoarse. "My things, my furniture, it's all on the sidewalk." I kept my voice even. "Hello, Maya. Yes, the lease was up today. You ended our relationship, so I moved out." "I didn't end it. I said we should talk," she shrieked. "I was supposed to come home. Where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do?" The entitlement was breathtaking. She genuinely expected me to just sit in our shared apartment for a week, waiting patiently for her to come home from her trip and decide my fate. She thought she could put me on hold. "That sounds like a problem you should have considered before you sent that text, Maya," I said. "You wanted to see other people. I assume you have a plan for that." There was a choked sound, and then Chloe's voice cut in. "This is because of Chad, isn't it? You're punishing her because of Chad." Silence. I had no idea who Chad was, but I had a very strong suspicion I was about to find out. I just waited. "Chloe, shut up." Maya hissed in the background. Too late. The pieces clicked. There was a guy. Of course there was a guy. Her time to think was a test run with someone new she'd met in Miami. She sent me that text to clear her conscience, to give herself permission to cheat without technically cheating. If things with Chad worked out, she could point to the text and say she ended it. If they didn't, she could come home and say it was all a big misunderstanding and I was her one true love. She wanted to have her cake and eat it too. And I had just thrown the cake, the plate, and the entire table into a wood chipper. "I don't know who Chad is," I said into the phone, my voice like ice. "But it sounds like you do. Maybe Chad has a place for you and your things to stay." I hung up and blocked Chloe's number too. The story was now clear. She hadn't gone on a girls' trip, she'd gone on an audition. Later that evening, I got an email from the landlord. He wrote, "Alex, just a heads up, I received a very distraught call from Maya. I informed her that you vacated the property legally at the end of your lease term and that she has no further tenancy rights. She was very upset, just wanted to keep you in the loop. Hope you're doing okay." My actions were logical, legal, and final. She had made her choice, and I had simply facilitated the consequences with maximum efficiency. She wanted to see other people? Fine. She was now free to do so, completely unburdened by a relationship or an apartment. Update 2. The week after Maya's disastrous return from Miami was a masterclass in escalating blame and attempted manipulation. It seemed her vacation romance with Chad evaporated the moment he realized she came with a mountain of curbside baggage and a raging drama vortex. He was a fun time, not a moving service. Suddenly she was back in town, with no boyfriend, no apartment, and a pile of belongings slowly being picked over by curious neighbors. Her friends, I assume, helped her move everything into an emergency storage unit, a task I'm sure they enjoyed immensely. After a few days of silence, which I savored, the next wave of attack began, this time from her family. Her mother called me. I made the mistake of answering. She started with a sweet, disappointed tone. "Alex, honey, I am so surprised at you. Maya is just devastated. There must be some misunderstanding." I gave her the short, factual version. "Hello, Mrs. Gable. Maya texted me that she wanted to end our relationship and see other people. Our lease was up. I moved out." Her tone hardened instantly. "That is no excuse to throw her out like garbage. You were supposed to sign a new lease together. You did this deliberately to hurt her." "She ended the relationship," I repeated calmly. "My name was on the lease. I was not going to be legally and financially responsible for an apartment for a woman who was actively seeing other people. Her things were left for her to collect before the lease expired." "She needs money, Alex," her mom said, shifting tactics. "She had to pay for movers and a storage unit. Her things were out in the open air. Some of her designer bags could be ruined. You owe her for that." "I am not financially responsible for her choices," I said, my patience wearing thin. "Goodbye." I hung up before she could respond. Next came the social media campaign. Maya posted a long, rambling story. It was a masterpiece of victimhood narrative, full of vague allusions to trust being broken and being abandoned at my most vulnerable. She posted a teary-eyed selfie with a caption about having to pick up the pieces of my life, literally, with a photo of her boxes in the storage unit. She didn't name me, but she didn't have to. The comment section filled with her followers offering sympathy and condemning the anonymous monster who did this to her. A few mutual friends messaged me, asking for my side. I didn't engage in a public battle. I just sent them a screenshot of her original text message to me. For most people with common sense, that was enough. The narrative of me being a heartless monster started to crumble when people realized I was simply reacting to her own words. The best part, however, was the text I received from Jessica, the other friend on the trip. It seemed she had a conscience. She wrote, "Alex, I'm sorry about all this. What you did was harsh, but I get it. Maya was with that guy Chad all week. She told us she was going to soft launch the breakup with you so she could see how things with him went. Chloe encouraged it. I told her it was a bad idea. I just wanted you to know it wasn't all in your head." I thanked her for her honesty. It was all the validation I needed. Final update. It has been about 2 months now, and the dust has fully settled. The smear campaign against me fizzled out when the full story started to leak, mostly thanks to Jessica and a few other people who saw the situation for what it was. It turns out that a story built on entitlement doesn't hold up well against one built on simple, verifiable facts. Maya's life, from what I've heard through the grapevine, is a mess. She is currently living on her friend Chloe's couch. The friendship is apparently under serious strain, as Maya is not an easy houseguest and contributes nothing to bills, all while complaining constantly about how unfair her life is. She tried to make another run at Chad, but he wanted nothing to do with her drama. She even tried one last desperate move about a month ago, sending me a long, rambling email. In it, she claimed I owed her thousands of dollars for the security deposit that she believed she was entitled to, plus compensation for her emotional trauma. I didn't reply. Instead, I forwarded the email to my lawyer, who drafted a very simple cease and desist letter. It stated that any further attempts to contact me or demand money would be treated as harassment. She went silent after that. As for me, life is good. My new apartment is smaller, but it's mine. It's calm and quiet. A few weeks ago, I received a check in the mail from my old landlord. It was my full security deposit. Included was a handwritten note. "Alex, the apartment was left in immaculate condition. Thank you. Wish you all the best." Seeing that check, that note, felt like the final word. It was quiet confirmation that I had done the right thing, handled my business cleanly, and closed the chapter with integrity. The ultimate irony is that Maya got exactly what she asked for in her text. She wanted to see other people. I just gave her that freedom immediately, without the safety net she assumed she would have. My revenge wasn't about being cruel, it was about refusing to participate in her game. I refused to be the backup plan. I took her at her word and acted on the logical consequences. She thought she could press pause on me while she auditioned a replacement. She learned the hard way that other people have an off switch too. She wanted clarity, and in the end, she got more of it than she ever bargained for.